Welcome to the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce News and Views show. I'm your host, Diane Sawyer, President and CEO of the Reidsville Chamber of Commerce. Today I have a very special guest with me, Montana Brown. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate you having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited too because, as we were saying kind of previously, you have not done a Meet the Board Member episode with us. So I'm excited because you do serve on our board. And we can do that, but we can also talk about all the great stuff you have coming up in your department.
Sounds like a good plan.
I think so too. So, Montana, tell us a little bit about you because we haven't done this before. Like, how long have you been here in this role and what brought you to this role? Give us a little bit of history.
Yes, ma'am. So again, my name is Montana Brown. I am the Director of Marketing and Economic Development for the City of Reidsville. I've been on board with Team Reidsville since July 1st of 2024. So we're coming up on my 2-year mark. Man, time flies by.
It does.
So I've been in local government for about 5 years. I worked previously with the city of High Point as their economic development manager. It was a great opportunity. I've lived in the Triad pretty much my entire life, aside from when I graduated from Appalachian State University in 2017. Got a ton of experience. Started thinking maybe it'd be best if I, kind of got out of my hometown, grew a little bit, used the skills I learned in a new place. Was being really selective about where I applied to. Reidsville was actually the only job that I applied to. I just felt from the research that I'd done, there was a lot of good stuff happening. I did a little bit of research on the team, a little bit of research on council, and I felt like Reidsville has a lot of promise. So I applied, ended up getting a call, did the video interview, and then ended up doing a full day panel interview where they passed me around to different city leaders. Pretty fun but stressful day. They ended up calling me back a couple days later and offered me the job. I took it. The rest is history. So I wound up here.
Yep. Well, we're excited to have you. You've done a lot in your 2 years, including adding to your team and restructuring that. So you've got a pretty dynamic team at this point. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Surely. I would go as far to say that I have the best team within the city of Reidsville. Small, but we're very well put together. Our strengths mesh together really well. So of course I inherited Mrs. Emerald Stone as my penthouse manager, and she's been seriously a lifesaver. Just super knowledgeable, very well organized. There's no one else you want running your event. My first hire actually ended up being someone that you're very familiar with. He's actually Debbie's son-in-law. His name is Chase Lemons. He is the business development manager. He's been on board since October of 2024. So his time's coming up really quick
time
too.
Does fly.
His first week was actually Fab Festival, and I put him to work immediately. I nicknamed him the Quad Father because he was helping us put down all the spots. But he's been a true asset to our team. He's a plethora of regional knowledge, just a real go-getter. The type to just jump into anything that you ask him to do. He's also became a really good friend, so I'm very blessed to have him. And most recently, about a month and a half ago, we did a little bit of restructuring. So this opened up a position, our marketing and event coordinator, and I was able to hire a very talented young woman by the name of Cameron Stewart, another local person. She actually grew up in Eden, but very well versed in Reidsville, Rockingham County. She graduated from RCC, worked at RCC. She worked at the Mark Museum. And I kid you not, I've never met somebody that wants to work more. Like, I'll give her like this entire task sheet, and we'll have these team meetings regularly and all that. And she'll just fly through it. And she'll come back and be like, all right, what you want me to do next? And I'm like, Cameron, that was supposed to last you like 3 days. It's been a day. But she's a real go-getter, really great attitude, great at, my whole team's great at just developing relationships, earning trust. But yeah, we're really dynamic. We're small, but we get a lot done. We also have several part-time staff members that help with events at the Penthouse and Market Square. I'm really lucky to have them. Seriously, without the team that we've put together, I would not be excelling in the way that I have been. So truly blessed, and Summer's given me a pretty long leash to come up with ideas and do things that I feel are right. So just blessed to have her support and follow her leadership.
I'm literally over here like grinning from ear to ear because like listening to you talk about them and I think about it, for me, it's like the same feeling. Like I'm so excited because they really are this dynamic team, and we have taken what is now going to be our core dynamic team, as we've had a couple retirements and But Katie and myself, and then as you mentioned, there's the familial connection with Debbie and Chase. But our teams coming together, we love working with your team, and the things that we do would not be as successful without your team. I mean, Penthouse, like you said, hands down, having her running, she is very organized, very much a wealth of knowledge. She keeps all of us on our toes because, I mean, she'll say, "Hey, you want to sit down? Are you ready to talk about?" Because she knows like we have to get things in order. And Cameron's already blowing me away with the stuff she's doing. And of course, like you said, Chase is just like, I don't know where Chase comes from. Like, Chase is just a very dynamic, unique individual. Like, he is a great dad. He is a
Hmm.
great husband. He's a great friend, great worker and colleague. And we are all just really blessed to have your whole team. And now we are trying to be more unified as a team. And I think Reidsville, like you said, has so much promise and so much success lined up. And every time we talk about what do the next 5 years look like, and I reflect and I think, oh my gosh, like look at how far we've come in the last 5, 10, 15
Hmm.
years. It feels kind of crazy to say that, and it makes me feel really old. But I think that together you guys are making such a difference, and we are posed to see some really cool stuff. So tell us, I know you've got some stuff. Tell us about some of that cool stuff that's coming.
Without a doubt. And I know people keep hearing this too. But like you said, Reidsville has a lot of promise. They've done a lot of groundwork in the last several years to set themselves up for future success. I want to talk about some of my events in a minute, but I also do just want to plug. So there are about 1,500 to 2,000 homes that are in the plans to be built in Reidsville. You take the average household size of a residence in America of about 3.5 people, you multiply by 2,000, you're going to end up having about another 6,000 plus people potentially living in the city of Reidsville, right? As of right now, according to the census, we have about 14,500 people. So our population could grow 50% in the next 5 to 10 years, which is substantial, which will help us build even more in the future. It'll attract more businesses, retail opportunities, restaurants, even makes us more attractive to office and industrial clients as well. So that's really exciting. Where there is a lot of credit to the saying that Rome wasn't built in a day. It's a little
Mm-hmm.
cliche, but it's very true. Economic development is a very niche field, so maybe some people aren't as well versed exactly as what we do, but it is playing the long game. It's building relationships with the state, site selectors, real estate brokers, real estate developers, and going out and actually meeting these businesses, supporting the businesses that you have, helping them connect to workforce, helping them with government processes, and then reaching out, talking to their end users as well as their suppliers, and then trying to draw them into our area. So that's kind of the economic development side of it. As far as the marketing and events, it's a whole nother ball game, but it all adds into it as essentially as you're trying to place make and show that we have a great quality of life in Reidsville, which we do. We have great natural assets in the form of Lake Reidsville and Lake Hunt. We have great walking trails, just great outdoor recreation, which the county really capitalizes on, and something that we do as well. But we also do a lot of events within the city, primarily at Market Square, a lot in downtown. So I always want to plug this. We have the farmers market that's going to start up on Saturday, May 23rd. That takes place at Market Square in downtown Reidsville. That's 303 South Scale Street. Had to think of that real quick. So it's going to be Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then it's going to be Thursdays from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We wanted to add in Thursdays because, not everybody has the opportunity to make it out Sunday morning. A lot of people have kids, going to games, different things of that nature. So it's a great place to stop in, get your produce, get your protein, flowers, and just different artisan made crafts for your week. It's a great spot. Reidsville has a very rich agricultural history, and it's something that we want to continue to keep alive. It's a trade that has been declining for the last several decades in our country, and these people are keeping that dream alive. I always tell people that your meals taste a lot better when you know where your ingredients are coming from, as well as that money's going directly back into your community. So again, starting Saturday, May 23rd, we're doing a lot to revamp it this year. There's going to be a lot of special events. We're going to be doing family days. We're going to do brewery pop-ups. We're going to do live music. We're going to do wellness days. We're going to do like an adopt a pet day. The bookmobile is going to come out and do like a reading time. And then we're planning this special event that's going to be a buildable tractor race that's going to take place over 3 months. So if you've ever, as a kid, you went to Lowe's or Home Depot or you were in the Scouts, you would build these little like wooden soapbox cars. We want to do that, but we want to make them tractors to match the farm theme. We're going to have a class in June as far as how to build it, a class in July for decoration and ramp reveal, and then in August we're going to have a race for people of all ages. We're going to separate them out by an age bracket. There's going to be prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, Farmers Market starts Saturday, May 23rd. The kickoff event's actually going to be Touch a Tractor. We are partnering with Big Apple Farm Supply, and they're going to put a lot of their new equipment out on Settle Street. So kids can come, get pictures, sit on the tractors, all that cool stuff. So great partnership there. Lucky to have community partners like them to do that. Farmers Market is starting a little later this year, so we wanted to have like an unofficial kickoff event, which is actually going to be the Mother's Day pop-up, because we also wanted to have another shopping opportunity, which is going to be Saturday, May the 9th. So there's going to be plenty of artisan vendors and crafts. There's going to be produce, flowers for sale. So really combining that farmers market with an additional opportunity to shop. So Saturday, May 9th, it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's going to be, we're really hoping for chamber weather that day. So, say prayers.
I'll be sure to put that in.
Really trying to get all the downtown shops and merchants involved as well. It's going to be a great day just to come out, shop for all the special women in your life. As far as other events going on, I mean, there's always something. So, about our summer concert series, obviously. So it's typically the third Saturday from June through September. There's one alteration to that, but we're going to kick it off this year on June 20th. Starting at 7 o'clock, we have Paul McDonald and the Morning Doves. It's probably the concert I'm most excited about. Don't tell the other bands I'm excited for them too. But Paul's got a great sound. He was on American Idol a while ago, placed in the top 10, had some success, took a break from music, a little hiatus, moved to Nashville, formed a new band, and started making music about a year or two ago again. Great sound. It's kind of Americana, folksy, rock mixed with gospel. I know it's two opposite ends of the spectrum, but he has large influences from like Bob Dylan and Tom Petty, and when you see it, you'll understand it. But a ton of energy. He'll play some original music as well as just some hits that everybody will know. He's going to get out in the crowd and dance and sing, and he's going to do his thing.
It's a great kickoff.
Oh, it is. So we really wanted to bring different kinds of music to Market Square. We wanted something that could appeal to different people, different tastes, but also at the same time where it's relatable enough to where if you just like live music, you can come out and enjoy your time. Mm-hmm. And we just wanted to be able to provide that space for the community to come out for free. So again, that's starting off on Saturday, June 20th, 7 o'clock. There's food trucks. Lucky City Brewing will be there. Of course, we have the Chambers Beer Garden as well. We're always lucky to partner with you guys. Bring a lawn chair, because you're going to want to sit for at least a little bit. You probably can't dance forever. If you can, I'm impressed. Give me some of that energy.
Right.
But just plenty of good things going on. So July 4th is also fast approaching. I know I say that and it's April, but so this is America's 250th anniversary. We do fireworks at Lake Reidsville every year, which is a huge event. They go all out, tons of food trucks, music, games for the kids. It's going to be a ton of fun. But also this year for July 4th, the City of Reidsville is partnering with Broco is Home, and we're going to be doing a 4th of July parade. It's going to follow about the same route as the Christmas parade that I know a lot of people are familiar with. Probably going to do it. More details are to come, but we're probably going to do it a little earlier in the day, probably around 10 or 11, so people aren't out there in, July in the very, very hot summer. But it's going to be a ton of fun. Stay tuned. I'll make sure to get all the details out to you and to everyone else. And that's just a couple things that are coming up. I mean, there's always other things in the works. We're actually working on a murder mystery night for later in the year at the Penthouse, but I don't have enough details to really share on that for now.
Yeah, that's exciting. We, it's funny, you were talking about the farmer's market and the Thursday night, and I have begged for years for us to think about doing that because it is hard. Sports and kids sports and for families, there's just always something going on Saturdays. And Thursday night is kind of like a lot of people don't work full days or don't, work on Friday. And so Thursday night's like a really great night to go and grab your stuff for the weekend. And then that way you have it.
Right.
I'm I'm excited about that. I think that's phenomenal. There's a bunch of 250 stuff happening. So the museum was on and talking about their 250 stuff. And I know the county has done something on their website. And
Hmm.
so it's kind of cool to see all the different tributes that are popping up. And I think that's going to be really, really fun. But I think the thing that I'm most excited about is just the energy that is coming and kind of threading through all of the events and kind of the continuity to being outdoors, being together, whether it's a Thursday evening or a Saturday morning or it's a shopping event or it's a event for the kids or whatever. I just think that that's kind of where life has, there we coming through like COVID and having to be something that was completely different for all of us. Like we had never experienced anything like that. Anybody that was alive really at that point
Hmm.
had not experienced that kind of um break and like the break of continuity and the break of families and gathering and all the things. And it's taken years to come back from that. And so I feel like we're creating this new like spaces and places and events. And it's just, I don't know. I just think it's what Reidsville is good at.
Hmm.
And I think it's what we are. I think the Fab Festival last year showed that. And I think that the plans that you guys have and that long leash that Summer has given you to kind of come up with different things and your team to attack it with this energy and this youthful kind of, hey, let's really focus on what we're good at, which is being a small town like where we are big enough that we can do things and be together and maybe not know everybody, but there's a lot of familial
Hmm.
like connections and friend connections, but being together in music or shopping or whatever, outdoors, just enjoying life and kind of getting back to that because we've gotten so like everything is about being scheduled and being busy and just, and
Hmm.
so I think we are trying to take back our childhoods, right? Like where
Right.
we were doing that kind of thing. So I could not be more excited about some of the stuff that y'all have planned. And it's hard because in your role and my role, people look at us and they say, "Ugh, all you guys do is events." But events are so important, and then events tie back to what we're really here for.
Hmm.
And I think that's what you and I can talk about a little bit today too, is explaining to people like you were talking about like some people aren't very well versed in what economic development is or what tourism is or what the Chamber of Commerce actually does or what your team actually does. And so I think it's important for people to understand that our events are what drive the families and the people to get out and have the feet in the street and see businesses and make relationships. But they're also what drives all of us getting to know each other because at the end of the day, like the connections are how we build our community. It's how we make these real estate folks. Like we've
Hmm.
got some amazing real estate agents in our community who have been instrumental in helping us get to where we are and continuing to get where we are. I wouldn't be in this building if it wasn't for Century 21 and Teresa Knowles. Like she is instrumental in how the chamber was able to purchase this building. We wouldn't have been able to do some of the things. Our current chair is Eden Combs, and she has revitalized a building downtown and our Main Street champion.
Hmm.
And we've got John Hall, who was on the board that hired me with Blue Sky. And so, like, knowing all of those people is what helps the folks like you do what you do every day. And so the events are important because it gets us out and it gets us to meet each other and to do it. But there's so much more to what we're doing behind the scenes.
Without a doubt.
So talk a little bit about like how um, kind of the things that you're doing. Like, so for instance, the mall, there's like this major, Tom is doing this great thing by renovating the mall. Like, talk about how that's important to economic development and like how some of these things by knowing each other is what's driving some of the stuff that's happened in Reidsville.
For sure. And I want to touch back on events and I'll jump into that too. So these events are a chance to, of course, connect and bring community together, but it's also a chance to spotlight our industries.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a chance to show off our town and bring new people into our town. And, that can encourage them to be new residents. That can encourage them to open up a business. And when you are working in economic development and, sometimes you're trying, well, not sometimes, you're always trying to attract industrial or office projects, one of the biggest things that companies are actually looking at nowadays is quality of life. What can our employees do when they're not working? It, you know, do they have visa access to healthcare? Are there restaurants that they can go to,
Places
grocery
they can
stores,
shop. Yep.
places they can meet? Is their family going to want to live here? So all of that really tacks into economic development, right? And I just want to tack on. So with the success of Fab Festival last year, we had several inquiries of businesses wanting to locate downtown just because they wanted to be a part of that energy and they like to see how it went. So there are some buildings that are currently being worked on and businesses that will be opened up soon because of events like Fab Festival, where they really saw the promise in what we were doing in downtown Reidsville. But touching base and talking about Tom Holderby and the mall, I can't stress enough that Reidsville is blessed to have an individual like himself, who has the roots here that wants to see Reidsville succeed. The mall being revitalized is monumental. We're in an age now where malls are dwindling down. I don't know if, and I don't want to talk bad about anyone, but if you've been to Four Seasons or Haynes Mall and you walk through it, it's not like it was in its heyday. There are more vacancies in malls than ever before. So in a time when that's happening, we're actually seeing the revitalization of our mall, and he's working really hard to fill it up and beautify it. It's going to be a huge asset to our community. It's given an opportunity to a lot of people that want to open up small businesses. Of course, they already have their anchor tenants there too, which are great because they are places that the people of Reidsville have relied on for years. It's going to be a great place just to gather, to shop, to handle things that you need to on a regular basis. And it's also going to bring people in to Reidsville from surrounding communities, Rockingham County, of course, too, but even from Southern Virginia, other parts of the Triad. I always think it's interesting when you look at the U.S. Census Quick Facts that per capita, meaning per person in Reidsville, over $34,000 is spent in a retail environment, which is more than a third of the entire county's makeup of retail sales. So what that means is literally per person, there's $34,500 spent in the retail environment. And you say, how do you do that with, median household income being about $47,000? What that means is people are coming to Reidsville to shop. They want to come here. We have the services, and that's great because that helps us build more residents. It helps us attract more foot traffic for our businesses. I may have gotten sidetracked there. But
It's good though.
Yeah, but truly blessed to have a developer like Tom who is vested in our community. Of course, people also know that he's building the apartment complex there by the mall, it's realistically going to be a premier place to live in Reidsville because you're going to be in between a grocery store, a pharmacy, and then all these places to shop and restaurants, right? It's going to be the most walkable apartment complex
But
or
also,
place to live realistically in the
he's
community.
going to add a shuttle. So
Exactly.
you're going to be able to shuttle anywhere you want to go, too. It's insane.
And he's also working to revamp the country club, which is another huge asset. Just, again, staying on topic with quality of life and how much that matters when trying to attract new businesses to our area. It's just crucial.
Yeah, I had a conversation with somebody this week about how they were. Actually, we've had 3 conversations with 3 different of our largest industries in Reidsville who have said to Denise and I, we are so excited because it provides an upscale, quiet place to take our folks when they come to town or when we need to have those type of lunch meetings.
Right.
And, right now that's something that we need. We've got some great places to eat. We do, but we also have a lot of really small, intimate lunch places. We need some that we can spread out, kind of have some privacy and that sort of thing. So that's going to provide that. And that's amazing. And something else I wanted to say, and I'll let you go back to what you were talking about. If you had let me give like a top 3 list or a top 5 list of things that I desperately wanted to see happen in my time, or that I wanted to see happen, but I didn't know that it ever would, the mall would have been one of them. And so for me, coming from a teenager who was driving from Eden to that very store, the Hodgepodge, to shop, and understanding like what a big deal that was, and being in my mid 40s. So like for me, it's like full circle, which is really cool because as the chamber president, that's been one of the biggest blemishes on Reidsville for years now. So I am over the moon. Like, I feel like I can check, go home. Like, that was one of the things that I wanted to see happen. And thankfully, like, we've had some relationships and have built some relationships to help kind of foster like things like that happening. And it's so exciting for that to be something that is like coming to Reidsville. Like, I can't even believe it. But then on the other hand, I have the ability, and you guys were a part of that, and I'm so thankful to the city and our relationship with the city, to see Reidsville through a different lens in the past week, because we had Leadership Rockingham come and do their Reidsville Day. And it's a group of 20 leaders from all across the county, people who've never even set foot inside of the city limits of Reidsville, who got to tour and see. And when you talk about this $1 million facility for active living, and like people, they were all like, we want to come. And they're like, you got to be 55. And they're like, oh, like, and they were like, if we let people below 55, we would be at capacity. They see
Right.
900 people a month at our care facility, where they're playing pickleball and doing all the things and being active. So you add in these great places to live that Tom is building, and then having that kind of facility for folks, like, it's just a dream come true for people like me and you, who are wanting all these things to happen. And to see it through their lens, like, we went out on the lake and they got to understand what an economic development tool Lake Reidsville is for us, as we're selling water to other municipalities, and we're building the infrastructure, as this progressive council over the last several decades has had the foresight to put money to things. We're building out the new pipe with Public Works to make sure that the infrastructure is here for those industries and businesses that you're recruiting. Like, it gives, like, literally the hair standing up on my arms when I think about how blessed we are to work with these great people. And so seeing through their eyes this past week, the lake, the R-Care, the team, how well we all work together, the all-inclusive park, downtown living. And we talk about people that have changed in things. J.R. Cecil, oh my gosh. Like, again, treasurer, blessed to have him here at the chamber. He has been a franchise owner in Eden and Reidsville Liberty Tax for a number of years. He's been here a little bit longer than me, so he's approaching his 20-year mark soon. Purchased not one, two properties downtown, renovated two buildings, and now able to open what is going to be one of the best bookstores this side of the Mississippi, here in Reidsville, with Lauren behind the helm of that. Like, it blows my mind, all the things. I mean, you and I could probably record and talk for days about all the stuff that's happening. And I just think, like, I want people to know these things, because it's really amazing. And there's some really great people behind that stuff.
Without a doubt. I know I mentioned before, but Reidsville's really on the cusp of something great. I mean, there's just been years and years of work to build the infrastructure, utilities, and just the resources that people and businesses need to succeed. Things that you talked about, but things I also want to just talk about RCC just for a second, and the Workforce Development Center that went live last year. That is a huge resource that the county was able to come together and to build something like that. That's something I market to companies all the time, because that's not something every community has. It is massive.
Do you know that is, in my 16 years at the chamber, that is the only issue that we've ever gotten behind as the chamber, because it was that important to us, and we helped push that quarter-cent sales tax on that referendum because we wanted to see that. Because you're right. And I drive by it every day. I'm fortunate to have the early college and have a child in the early college, the CTE high school that's now going to feed the Workforce Development Center. All of that stuff that's happening. We are blessed to have Dr. Cox and her vision and the things that are happening. It is really crazy to me when you think about, like, the connections and the things that we have been wanting to see that are suddenly all just popping off, like, and happening. It is really mind-blowing. Like, and then Summer and Summer's vision and how she supports things. I mean, like I said, we could really talk for days about it. You know, when you think about it, people don't realize Lauren Bottoms has been talking to me for, I would say, 4 years about wanting to have a bookstore, and she wasn't ready to pull the trigger. Space wasn't right. We would talk. I would send her spaces, and it wasn't right. It wasn't right for her and her time. And then JR comes along and buys this building. He's like, Diane, looking for retail. And then Lauren comes back to me and she says, hey, I think I might be ready. And I'm like, ooh, let me introduce you to somebody. And then like they took it from there, and then you guys jumped in and you made sure that all the things were happening, and like y'all took over that government processes piece, right? And made sure that somebody, Chase was holding her hand, and all those things were happening. And like that's how this stuff works, and it's just awesome.
It is. It is. I mean, every day my team talks about how, we're just chipping away. Community development, economic development, again, it's a long game, but every day you're chipping away, you're chipping away, you're chipping away.
Yeah.
And then things start to happen. I mean, it really does just feel like that domino is about to fall. That sets off everything that we've been preparing for.
Yep, absolutely.
And the chamber has been just a tremendous resource since I've been with the city of Reidsville. I've gotten the opportunity to work with several chambers throughout my career, and just the amount of programming and resources you guys are able to push out to your membership is tremendous. To be a team of your size, you guys have been just very helpful to me. And this goes for any government employee, nonprofit, or business. I cannot recommend enough to join the chamber, especially if you're starting out or if you're already established. This is the ultimate place to network, to meet other people, to learn about different services in the community, to be able to, whether you're looking to grow or you're looking to improve a process or learn more about marketing. You guys are just a great resource. Being plugged in with you guys helped me learn so much about Reidsville and Rockingham County, helped me get to know different business owners and other organizations in the city. I'm very thankful to have you guys here.
But we're super thankful to have y'all too, because without y'all and without your support and your backing and your involvement in the board and Summers and the council, like all of y'all together, like we are legitimately like Team Reidsville. Like it's so funny. I've had people tell me like that Team Reidsville thing that y'all do, like it's legit. Like we're jealous. Like it and I'm like, I don't know how to tell y'all, like we are all on the same team and we want to be on the same team. And so we are thankful for you being on the board. We are thankful for all the people who make this an easy place to get up and come to work every day, because it doesn't feel like work. We're just part of the community. And it's funny what you were talking about. This is a great place, whether you're growing or whether you're looking to learn. I had a conversation with a female who isn't the business owner, but is a part of a business that I personally am connected to. And she was asking me about She Means Business. And she was like, is that something I would benefit from? And I was like, if you are a female, yes, there's no other, like there needs to be nothing else attached to it, right? If you're a female, you're going to benefit from it. But what we got to talking about was she's not a member because like the owner of her company, like their client base is full and they don't need to expand. And I was like, but it's not about that. I was like, it's about being connected. It's about learning for your clients, understanding and knowing more about the community. Like it's all of these things. And I was like, for some people, it's credibility. For some, it's just giving back to this thing that we're all doing so that their clients have all the things you were talking about: shopping, eating, education, healthcare, whatever it is. So it's just understanding how a community works. And as somebody who has a 15, 12, and 9-year-old, my kids already get it. And like that's all I could ever hope for my kids, like when it comes to that, is that they understand how a community works and how to be an active part of the community.
Very much so. And that's kind of what I want to move on to next too, was, together we're Team Reidsville, but we're not all that what Team Reidsville is made of. Team Reidsville is the entire community.
It's everybody.
It's not just being a part of the chamber or owning a business or buying a building and renovating it. There's so much more to it. There are plenty of opportunities to get involved in your community, to participate, to meet people, to volunteer. Being a part of Team Reidsville even is just as simply as how you represent your community online, the things that you say. All of those things matter. And the thing is we all want to see Reidsville grow. We all want to see these specific fun things. And what I want people to know is the way you talk about and represent your community matters. Companies and other outside people, if they're thinking about moving here, they want to see that your area has civic pride. And that's something that I think Reidsville is, really working on and improving on, seeing more support online. But I want people to know that, again, Rome wasn't built in a day. There are people working day in and day out, dedicating their lives to try and make Reidsville an even better place. And we'd love for you to be a part of the team, to hop on. There are always opportunities. I've talked about site selectors a little bit, and companies when they're looking at the area, they look at little things like even a matter of like they'll want to ride through downtown. They want to see how traffic is, not where I mean, they want to see how busy it is, but also in the matter of how people handle themselves at traffic. I've literally
Mm-hmm.
heard a story where a site selector just sat at a red or sat at a green light for like 30 seconds. They wanted to see how the people around them would react.
Uh-huh.
So your attitude and your mindset greatly, even on every single level, but even as something as minor as traffic, influences the attitude and the people and the businesses that come to your community. I always just think that's something interesting to think about.
It is definitely. I've also heard stories about how they pull up to a drive-through and see how the frontline folks act towards folks in the drive-through, or that we could go on and tell all kinds of stories that we've heard through the years like that. But
But that's what's great about Reidsville, like you said earlier. It's you have the small town feel where people know each other, people are friendly to one another, but you also have these larger assets that people want out of a community. And then, of course, we're also just perfectly placed within the state of North Carolina to where you can really access anything that you want. I mean, we're 25 minutes out of the fastest growing commercial airport in the continental United
yeah,
States. I don't know what more you could really ask for. It's just exciting to be a part of. Really excited to be in Reidsville.
it is. And on that note, I said we could talk for days, but we are way over our time.
My
So I'm
apologies.
just, no, you're fine. It's me. I'm the one who's supposed to do it. But I was like, we're going to finish this thought train, but it took us a while. So I am so thankful. We are so excited to have you, Montana. Good luck to everything that is happening over the summer when it comes to everything that your team is doing. But I see nothing but really good stuff happening. So on that note, do you want to tell people how to contact you if they want to learn more about any of the things?
Of course. I greatly appreciate the opportunity in the chamber.
Yep.
If anybody has any questions, you can always reach out to my office. You can call me directly. My cell phone number is 336-432-1484. My email is mbrown@reidsvillenc.gov. M is in Montana, brown just like the color, @reidsvillenc.gov. I'm open all the time, calls, text, emails. If you have a question about what's going on in the city, I'm more than happy to speak to you about it, processes that go behind it. If you're looking for potentially opening a business or expanding your business, definitely give me a call. But even if you're not, if you just want information, I'm here to help.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for being on the board. Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for just being an awesome teammate because we are excited about all the things that are happening. So your leadership is very much appreciated.
I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. All right, that is it for today's show. As always, you can find us in the heart of downtown Reidsville at 140 South Scale Street on all of our social channels and our website, reidsvillechamber.org. Thanks, and stay tuned.